Hello, race fans, and welcome to the Razorback Handicap edition of Oaklawn Today. Very happy to join a lot of people very early. The blinds were outside the door, so got that nice rush of energy to start things off. I'm Nancy Holthus, joined alongside track announcer Matt Dinnerman. We're matching in the blue. I like it.
Yes, we are.
I like it.
And Oaklawn is very much blue. So with our colors, Oaklawn Today Studios, I guess our main color is red, but we see a lot of blue here at Oaklawn. And one of the trends is also the blue skies today.
Yes, very happy to see that. It was the perfect morning for dawn at Oaklawn. And let's go ahead and take a look at our weather because the prediction is 80 degrees today. Fast track sunny skies, winds out of the south by southwest at 5 miles per hour, 65 degrees, and that is going nowhere but up. Super excited that we have a perfect day for live racing. And because of that, the infield is opened. I think this is the earliest that we have ever opened the infield, especially when it's not like 50 degrees outside.
Right.
So yeah, very happy that fans will get to experience that. It's a great place to watch the race. It's kind of a different perspective because you see them going down the backside and coming in the stretch, you're like right there.
And it's electric too. You go in there and everybody's cheering, and people over the age of 21 are having alcoholic beverages. So it's just a lot of fun.
It's not just a family show here at Oaklawn. You know, we like to have fun with it too. Let's go ahead and take a look at our news page. We had a lot of doubles yesterday. A Friday double for Francisco Arrieta and a triple, that hat trick for Christian Bigotes Torres. Narazuri was much the best in the Trivesta Overnight Stakes. Loved seeing her, did it well within her own. As I mentioned, the infield is open, and very big name is running in the Razorback. Magnitude makes his 4-year-old debut in today's feature, the Grade 3 Razorback Handicap. Also, Sunday, that's tomorrow, Rebel Day, a noon first post, 3 stakes on the 12-race card, the Pig Trail Overnight Stakes, the Grade 3 Honeybee, and the Grade 2 Rebel. So a lot of amazing action also today and tomorrow. Swipe for your chance to win some Rebel riches. And tomorrow, definitely don't forget to swipe because you will earn 5 times entries for that promotion. We want to thank 10 Strike Racing as they generously are matching today's Ring the Bell donations. We're very, very thankful, Matt, to all of our sponsors, every single person that rings the bell, because aftercare is just as important as racing.
Absolutely. And when you look at our horses, look, we have a responsibility to take care of horses as human beings. They cannot take care of themselves. We have to feed them. We have to make sure they're vetted properly. And it doesn't stop after the racing careers, Nancy. Right. Owning a horse is very expensive. So I would also say if you own a horse, make sure you can afford it. And
100%.
And I think it's just very important that we take care of our horses before and after, because the horses are what give us the joy of being in this game.
100%.
They're the one, as we see our horse take a little tumble there. He took a tumble yesterday, Nancy.
He took a tumble off the desk. I'm going to put him there.
Yeah, put him right there next to your iPad there. But yeah, very much important.
Yeah, and we love supporting those because technically they put food on our tables.
Yes.
Yeah, very appreciative. We do have a fantastic 11 race card today, stakes action on tap. So let's go ahead and dig right in. Race number 1 is for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up. Non-winners of 3 races, $10,000 is the claim price, and they will contest a 1.116 in distance. As you can see, we did have a scratch of the 5 Little Dixie, and both parts of the entry will go.
Yes, so we remain with a field of 7 in this race here with the entry, and Boltoro is my pick in here. Not the actually the favorite. I thought it's at 5-2, 3-2 for Boltoro right now, coming off a win for 10,000 on January 4th. Right back in for 10 for trainer Scott Young. I like this move here. We don't need to bump a horse up when our purses are this good.
Exactly.
We can keep them at 10 where we know they can be competitive, get a win, and if they get claimed, you're making money. The only knock I have on this horse is he's 4 for 33, but the good news is that he won last time out at this level, so he has really found his friends, and trainer Scott Young, he is looking for his 2nd win at the current meeting.
I'm going to look to the number 4 Saranac Lake, coming from the barn of Ronnie Craven's David Cabrera, back in action. This runner is going to stretch out after a starter option claiming on Valentine's Day down at Delta Downs, and even the sprints down at Delta. It's a bull ring circumference, so that does mean they make a 2-turn configuration. Now, this runner sat off the pace, racing 6.5 furlongs to finish second to a dominant 13-length winner. I like that she was a winner right here at Oaklawn last meet when facing similar to today's conditions, and also at the distance of 1 1/16, where she is 3 for 5 in the win column. A good way to start out the first leg of the early 50-cent pick 5, as we have the first leg of the 50-cent pick 4 in race number 2. This is for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of 2. Claim price $12,500, sprinting 6 furlongs in distance. 2 of a scratch of the number 10, which leaves us a very competitive field of 9.
Yeah, I mean, I actually think the favorite Ante-Up Tony's clearly the horse to beat in here off a runner-up finish last time for 16.92 and for 12.592. So a little bit of an easier spot here. 2 starts ago, broke the maiden and defeated a next-out winner. I like this horse, second off the claim for Steve Asmussen here. Keith Asmussen with the ride, and I think this horse should work out a good trip. Was farther back last time than was 2 starts ago when they broke the maiden, so I think there's a lot of reasons for this horse. If he can be a little more forward closer, he can run even better, and the class drop will help too.
Yeah, I'm on Ante-Up Tony as well. She is going to get that class relief, and also races for a barn that is 21% second off of the claim. A lot to like about Ante-Up Tony. Race number 3 is an auction maiden. We've kind of seen more of these the last couple of years. It is for 3-year-olds and up who sold or RNA'd for $75,000 or less in their last auction, or optional claim price of $75,000. And we do have some in for the claim price. They will contest 1 1/16 for the field of 9.
Yes, and Kenny McPeak, I think, has got a really strong 1-2 punch in here. I landed on an Ace Jack Deuce, who comes out of Maiden Special Weight Company in Florida, in for not the tag, which is a good thing. It's a maiden optional 75. So based on the condition, this horse is eligible to not run for a tag. So he's finding an easier group, but Kenny McPeak is still protecting him. That's a good sign. I am actually very much, even though Race Ready's my 3rd pick, for example, if I'm playing an early pick 5, I'm using the 2 McPeaks. I'm trying to toss Race Ready, the morning line favorite. I think that this horse had every chance to win last time, and he hung. So this is the type of thing I just like to note it on the show, that if you think a favorite is beatable, unless you don't have a strong opinion, do not play them carefully. Just say, take a stand, I'm going to try to beat the favorite, and then you can win some money because a lot of people are going to be playing the favorite.
There you go. I'm actually going to use my long shot of the day in here. That is Miss You Mo. This runner debuted earlier in the month against maiden allowance runners at Turfway. We're going 6 furlongs and showed this amount of interest. Nada. So here's what happens. I'm going to draw a line through that last race, as the barn does very well when going from poly to dirt. That is a big difference. Also, the barn does well with runners second time out, and also when adding a route of ground. So we're going to add some real estate for Miss You Mo. Now, he is by Uncle Mo, who is a very high 20% with runners second time out and 18% with runners adding that real estate. Now, his dam Red Ruby graduated in her second start when stretching out also. So there's a lot to kind of like. I'm not sure if I'm going to get 15-1, but Jose Ortiz is in the irons for trainer Rudy Brissett. I said Red Ruby. Do you remember Black Ruby and Taz? Was it Taz?
Taz. Black Ruby and Taz, they were
the mules that had a rivalry out in Southern California, and Del Mar paid a lot of money to have them come for a match race, and it was who has the best ass in Del Mar. I don't know if I can say that.
Of course. Times have changed. They wouldn't use that in 2026,
exactly.
I don't think.
But it was so much fun. Jack Canal, did he ride Black Ruby or Taz? I can't remember.
Cowboy Jack Canal? I didn't know that he rode mules, period.
I think he rode anything that's got 4 legs. I think he would ride. Yeah, he was very game.
I rode a camel once.
You did?
Yeah, at Emerald
Was
Downs.
it one of the races?
One of the races,
Oh, that's crazy.
And I wore the Ron Crockett silks. Ron Crockett, the owner of Emerald Downs. So dwelt at the gate, and the race was won. He still came out of the gate, Nancy, but
They have the weirdest looking gate. I mean, it's like long. It looks clumsy. I mean, did you stay on?
I stayed on, and the race was won by none other than Rocco Bowen and his camel, your guy.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, geez. He was like 30 wins ahead in the jockey standings, and I was hoping I could beat him, but not the case. And 0 for 1 in my riding career,
Okay.
and that will likely stay for the rest of eternity, would be my guess.
I won't judge you for that whatsoever. I see people riding the emus, the zebras,
the
or
mini zebras.
no chance.
Yeah.
No, not my thing. Race number 4 is for 4-year-olds and up, non-winners of 3 allowance or optional claiming of $50,000, and they're going to go 1 mile, utilizing that short stretch of the mile run. A 7-horse field, and Matt, this is a really talented field of 7. You could almost make a reasoning for any of the runners in this group.
I mean, this is like a minor stake,
Yeah.
like an overnight stake in a way. And actually, First Division and Super Cruise, 2 runners on the morning line who are the lowest in odds, they come out of a overnight stake. I'm going to pick Super Cruise in here, removing blinkers. This horse went to the lead last time in a paceless race and stuck around gamely, only lost by a neck to Macman, a pretty good horse, and finished ahead of First Division. As you can see, between Nancy and I, we think this will be a formful race. But these are 2 really nice horses, and Super Cruise removing the blinkers, I don't see that as a negative thing. This horse wore the blinkers last time out. In fact, he's worn them in all 5 lifetime starts. Now he's trying something new, but I like this horse in here. He's a good horse, and I think he's well spotted today. But he's going to have to run his race because there are other good horses in here.
Matt, I have a confession.
Okay, let's hear it.
I got nosy, and I called Ray Ashford.
Oh, okay.
I was kind of curious, and I talked to Bethany. I like to call Bethany Taylor the secret weapon because she gets on some of the better horses that trainers have. Super Cruiser doesn't, according to Ray, has never worn blinkers during training. And obviously that last race, he's coming down the lane, and he has 2 horses come up on his outside and kind of digs back in, but not sure if he saw them because he was sporting those blinkers. So interesting. He said he doesn't train in them. I don't think he needs them.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And sometimes horses, they need them early and then they mature, and vice versa, for whatever reason.
And it's not uncommon. You'll see horses that are 6, 7 years old, have 35 starts, and you'll see blinkers off. Right. And for the first time, it's just they don't need them anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a desperation move if their form's not going in the right direction. But this is certainly not the case with this horse. And I like that you got busy getting some inside info there, Nancy.
I did. I got nosy. So yeah,
any little bit of info can help us all.
It's not against me to pick up the phone and say, okay, give me this, give me the tea, give me the Oaklawn tea.
Tell me what's going on
exactly. Yeah, I'm on Super Cruiser as well. Has run very well in the lightly raced career, and as we said, the blinkers off, I think could be a really good move for this horse, and also like the fact that Rafael Bejarano gets back aboard. This horse just ran the eyeballs out last time in a really good effort.
He ran really well.
Yeah, he did. But a very competitive field for race number 4. The 5th race on the program is $25,000, claiming non-winners of a race since August 28th. 4-year-olds and up, and they are going to sprint 6 furlongs in distance. And as you can see, we do have a field of 9 set to go to the post.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the first 4 races with me anyway, I thought the card will be pretty formful. We'll see if I'm right or wrong about that, because recently this meet we've been more wrong than right, but we're trying, Nancy.
We're trying.
The 5th race, I am actually going to play Plausible Denial in here for trainer Greg Compton, freshening up 2 months after 2 third-place finishes. One of those races was against Allowance Company at Remington, and last time out for $30,000, this horse ran 3rd from off the speed. There's a good amount of pace in here. I think he can run on into it. Off the freshening here for the Compton stable, he's going to be my pick with Jose Ortiz, who's here for the entire weekend. So Plausible Denial. Let's get it done.
I'm going to look to the number 6, Big Effect, from the barn of Abel Ramirez Rodriguez. Christian Torres in the irons. We've seen this barn be very hot this season, and also when teaming up with jockey Christian Torres. Now, he is going to give up recency as he does race from off the break in late October in a last place finish against a tough open $40,000 group, and that was also contested over the slop in Louisville. Now, he joined the barn that day off a 9-way shake, so a lot of interest in this runner in his last go. He is going to get class relief as he debuts for the new Connections today. 34% off the claim. Really high numbers. And he's produced better efforts either on the pace or sitting just shortly thereof. So, yeah, a lot of times we see these multiple way shakes, a 9-way shake for big effects. So they're going to hopefully get some ROI in him today.
Yeah, and the thing is, as we've talked about with the purse structure here and how things are, dropping it for claim tag first off the claim, but still winning, you can make money doing that.
Very much so. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break on this Razorback Handicap edition of Oaklawn Today, and we will be right back.
Experience the excitement of horse racing with Oaklawn Anywhere. If you're an Arkansas resident, you can watch and wager on horse racing from around the globe, whether you're at home or on the go, with any smartphone, laptop, or tablet, anytime, anywhere. Download the free Oaklawn Anywhere app and register for a sign-up bonus. With access to past performances, live video, race replays, and expert handicapping data, you're always in the know with no subscription fees. Bet online anytime with Oaklawn Anywhere. Exclusively available to Arkansans. Right, Max? Oaklawn Anywhere. Our season never ends. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700. Rebel Stakes Day means big money on the track. And now, big money for you too. Swipe your ID on live race days to earn entries for our Rebel Riches drawing. On Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays, you'll score double entries. And on Saturdays, a single entry. But on Rebel Stakes Day, Sunday, March 1st, your swipe earns 5 times the entries, putting you closer to the cash than ever before. Throughout the day, 25 winners will take home their share of $10,000. After races 2 through 6, 5 winners will be awarded prizes ranging from $200 to $600 each. From the track to your pocket, Rebel Stakes Day just got richer.
Banishing Alexander Helios. First mission trying to pick him up. Alexander Helios between horses. Banishing inside. Alexander Helios has won the Razorback by a nose.
Back with race number 6, which is also the first leg of the $1 Classics Pick 6, and a good group assembled here for the 6th race. This is 4-year-olds and up, non-winners of 3, non-winners of a race since October the 28th. $10,000 tag going 1 mile. Scratch of the 11, which does allow the 13 Metatron's Muse to get in the body with Christian Torres.
Yeah, and Metatron's Muse is one of the horses to beat in here now, but he draws a horrible post position.
Yes.
So I'm going to try to beat him in that regard. I picked Face Value in here. Total trip play. I mean, this horse, I don't know what happened last time, but he just went way too fast on the lead. And he's not a horse that's not manageable. So I don't know what happened. Went 22-4, 46-2. And this horse only lost by a length and a half. I mean, this horse was the best horse in the race that day at this level. If jockey Manny Esquivel, who has ridden him before, can ration his speed now, this horse, I think, will have more finish, and I think he's going to improve off of that. So, Nancy, you saw what I did last time.
Yeah, I'm on this same horse as well. And despite being 0 for 8 at the distance, I like that he kind of cuts back, because it seems like the last 16th, he's kind of gotten a little bit leg weary. Now, it has been a minute since this horse has seen the winner's circle. You have to go pretty far back, but his last win was versus Similar in December of 2024. So Matt and I are going to try to get him back to the winner's circle.
Yeah, Face Value. He's been around for a while, the old pro. Always
he's
been
an
sort
honest
of
horse.
What?
Yeah, he's an honest horse.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And we find that with claimers. I would love to own claimers that just try every time.
I love those.
They're the best.
That was the majority of our stable, is
Yeah.
running horses where they can be competitive. And some of these, when we say open, there's no condition to the claim price. It's just $30,000. But we might run non-winners of 3 or non-winners of a race since a certain date. So typically those are a little easier to come by.
Right.
Yeah.
As we call restricted races.
Restricted races or beaten. Race number 7 is the first leg of the final 50-cent pick 5 on the Saturday program. This is for 4-year-olds and up, non-winners of 3 or non-winners of a race since October 28th. $20,000 is the claim price, and they will contest a mile and a 16th. And Carlos Ulloa rides the number 3 Lemon Drop Shot.
Okay,
Which are very tasty, by the way.
Lemon drop shots? I've never tried one.
Very tasty.
Well, this horse will need to improve to get a taste of the winner's circle. I can tell you that right
Segue.
now. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I am going with a price in here, at least on the morning line, of 50-cent dollars. This horse's last 2 races haven't been great, but one of those races came over a sloppy track, where he's 0 for 3 on a sloppy track, and he sprinted 2 starts ago, and this horse is better going 2 turns. His last time over a fast track, he ran for $20,000 in a restricted 20 race. Sat off the speed, made a big move, won by 8 here. Now, this is a tougher group, even though he's in for the same 20 tag as he was 3 starts ago. But third off the claim for Tim Martin here. I think this horse, back to a fast track, back to the route game. The stars will align for this horse to improve at the very least. And if he can win, then I think we're going to get a decent enough price on it.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the runner just a few stalls inside of Matt's top selection with the number 7, Slip Mahoney. Does exit tougher open, $35,000 runners earlier in the month when going a mile to finish 5th. Was only beaten, though, 3.5 lengths for the victory. He did break from an outer post position, finishing in front of actually several that are going to return in today's field. But that last race, you know, I like a good next out winner race. This is one of those this afternoon. Lots of reasons for this horse to move forward from that last start. You've got the class drop, second start off the freshening, and third off the claim, where the barn is 12%. So an interesting group to kick off the first leg of the final 50-cent pick 5 on the afternoon. Let's talk Arkansas breds for race number 8. This is fillies and mares, 3 and up, a first level allowance or optional claim price of $25,000, and they're going to go 3/4 of a mile.
Yes, they are, and this was a race that I believe, if I'm looking correctly, yes, it's split, races 8 and 11. So what happens there in the racing office, sometimes we'll get 20, 25 horses in a race, and they split the race into 2 divisions, and this is the first division. I'm not a huge one way or another fan in a race like this, a state bred allowance. She never seems to be quite good enough to win at this level.
Okay.
However, I don't think that this group is that strong compared to other state bred allowance races. For example, I think the second division, the last race today, is a much stronger heat with regards to quality, and I like that this runner has done good work here at Oaklawn. Last time out off a layoff, this horse ran against open company allowance foes. She's not good enough to win at that level by any means. If she was running against open, good enough to win for a tag, but not against allowance company. But second start off the layoff here into the state bred company. I think they ran her last time, A, to get a race, and B, maybe pointing for a race like this that she's eligible for, but they didn't want to put her in for a tag because they didn't want to lose her. So with that in mind, into the first level allowance condition she goes here for state bred. She's going to be showing speed from the inside. Rockin' the Lane has speed, but she does not need the lead. And Sending is one that's removing blinkers that has speed, but she's cheaper speed. So I think one way or another can get the lead here and be very brave.
Well, I did have the number 7 Walkaway K really jump out on the page at me, coming from the barn of Danny Pish, who's had a very productive week. He's had 3 winners recently. He had a double just the other day. Eric Asmussen in the irons, a very lightly raced 3-year-old, has by far produced the highest set of buyer speed figures. She is going to take on Older today, and she's also going to contest Arkansas breds for the first time today. Now, she was runner-up in the Astral Spa 2 starts backs and exits a closing 4th in the Mockingbird. Both winners of those respective races will be returning in tomorrow's Honeybee. So there does look to be enough pace to set up for her down the lane, but I really do like the number 7 Walkaway K in race number 8. Race number 9 is for 3-year-olds, a first level allowance optional claim, $150,000. They're going to go a mile and a 16th in distance, as we have just a jockey change as Louis Q picks up the mount on the number 3 Treadstone.
Yeah, hopefully Jaime Torres is okay. It looks like he's off a couple mounts.
I think
today.
he's in New York today.
Gotcha.
I think
he's riding in the Gotham
yes.
there. Okay,
yeah.
gotcha. All right, well, that's good. Good to see he's okay there,
Yeah.
and we'll see him back here tomorrow for Rebel Day. My top pick in this race, Nancy, and this is a fun race. It's a first-level allowance for 3-year-olds going 2 turns. Whoever wins this race, if they're healthy enough next month, we could see him in the Arkansas Derby or a big Derby points race. I'm taking a price. I've been formful a good chunk of the card. I gave you 50-cent dollars. Now I'm going to give you a 54-yarder, number 4. Yeah, pretty funny. And both are 15-1 on the morning line.
Interesting.
54-yarder, looking to get it through the uprights here. See what I did there? Yeah, there you go. You're a football fan, right?
Yeah. I like more college football than pro.
I'm the
but
opposite.
now that these kids are making millions of dollars to play college football, it's not as exciting
It's
for me.
a different type of game for sure. Do you have a favorite sport besides horse racing?
MMA.
Oh, of course. I should have known that.
I don't watch it as much as I used to. It's gotten way more political.
Gotcha.
And that's kind of like, now I'm out.
For sure. We come here to enjoy the sport, regardless of what it is.
We do, certainly.
And you're going to get that here in this race. But 54-yarder's my pick. First time out, won a sprint and ran a good race.
Ran a very good
then
race.
Came back last time out. I will say I got a perfect trip and just got a little bit tired down the lane at this level and finished behind Our Magical Moon, who coincidentally also got a perfect trip and is your top pick, Nancy. But I'm going to give 54-yarder another chance because I love the second-time routing angle. Horses, they route, then second time out, they do it. Anytime a horse does something for the second time, I think they have a right to take a step forward. They don't always do, but I think they have a right to. So we're going to give him another shot versus Our Magical Moon, who I thought got a perfect trip and has routed before, so had some conditioning edge, for lack of a better term. But Nancy, I know you like this horse, and his maiden win was very good.
Yeah, very good. This coming from the barn of Mark Cassie. Jose Ortiz in the irons here this afternoon. This runner was third as the favorite last out when facing similar. Also her first time taking on winners. That can sometimes be a big step going from the maiden ranks up to this class. Now, the winner of that field, Honey's to Blame, is going to return tomorrow in the Rebel at 20-1. Now, there is speed on both sides of the starting gate. So maybe get into a good position and let this runner do that good run of ground in the lane. So I like Jose Ortiz and Mark Cassie. They team up at a really, really high percentage when being a trainer-jockey duo. So I like on these big days, Matt, we've got a phenomenal colony of local riders, but you can tell how good our card is when we do get the top riders from around the country that ship in for today and tomorrow.
And we have a lot of money to give out, so obviously that's very attractive. And with that will come good quality. So throughout the year, all season long, we see riders from other jurisdictions coming here to ride, especially in these big races. And it's good for them, too, because we give out good money. They say to their agents, hey, put me on some horses on the undercard other than the horse I'm supposed to ride in the stake. For example, Jose Ortiz is scheduled to be here tomorrow on Rebel Day, but because Magnitude's running, if he wanted to, he could say, I just ride Magnitude, I'm fine. But he's got 5 or 6 mounts today, which tells you that he's got some live horses, or at least the agent thinks so, and the money's good for the taking. So I also want to note, gambling-wise, just an interesting little tidbit. Our Magical Moon, 54-yarder, both between them were a quarter of a length apart at the finish line. And Our Magical Moon is 3-1 on the morning line, and 54-yarder is 15-1 on the morning line.
Wow.
So either somebody's in underlay, Our Magical Moon, or somebody's in overlay in 54-yarder. So it's interesting. But those two don't separate each other by that much.
Yeah, and you will see, and there's nothing wrong with it, but the newer gamblers, they see those top barns, and they tend to maybe spend a little bit more of their money gambling on some of those bigger names that you might not be. Not to say that this horse doesn't have a solid shot in here, but they do. They're more recognized with those big names.
And the same with the jockeys, right? I mean, you'll get a jockey coming into town, and even Luis Saez, who's here this meet, we were talking about it, I think I might have mentioned it on air, a lot of his horses get overbet. And it's not a knock on Luis, obviously, but people look at that big name. All riders have a brand.
Yeah.
So some have a bigger name brand than others, and when you see a, quote, top jock on a horse, you're going to go, well, this horse must be really live because the top jockeys are getting the most live horses most of the time.
I mean, it's almost like if Baffert sent a first level allowance horse to run in the Arkansas Derby, he's going to get bet down.
For sure, 100%.
Period. Whether he belongs in it or
100%.
not, they're going to start betting the names.
If
and
this
that's
horse,
how it
was a maiden running in the Arkansas Derby for Bob Baffert, people are going to go, if Bob's sending the horse here, he must like the
have
horse.
A chance. Yeah.
Right. So, and maybe probably the horse would have a chance coincidentally,
Exactly.
but you get the gist here. So that's another thing. We've talked about it before. Look and try to identify who's getting bet for the right reasons, who's getting bet for the wrong reasons. And if you can identify that, you're going to find gems in the rough at good prices, and you're going to find horses that are underlays that you can beat, and you're going to find more value for yourself and more money in your pocket.
And as Matt likes to say, the odds board tells a story, and it always does. It's not always a great story, but it's a good story.
No, and sometimes it's not an accurate story, but you try to at least figure out exactly why the odds are the way they are, just like a story.
Yep. Race number 10 is our feature on the Saturday program. This is the 68th running of the Grade 3 Razorback $500,000 purse. And they're going to go 1 mile and a 16th in distance. Did have one scratch of the number 1. Tap into this, which leads us a field of 6, including last year's Arkansas Derby winner, Sandman.
Yeah, he's a horse that last time, he didn't get the greatest trip that day. I don't think he was going to win, but we will give him that. He did not get the greatest trip that day. Magnitude is my pick in here. He won the Clark in November. It takes a 3-month break. Here he is for Steve Asmussen. Knew what's new. He's a very impressive allowance horse, and we can mention him later. But Magnitude just has that class edge. He's a very talented horse. I like that last time out he was able to rate. Earlier in his career, he seemed like a horse that wanted to be on the lead in order to do his best work. Last time he rated, and it took him a while to get by Chunk of Gold, who ran 3rd that day. And last year's Dubai World Cup winner, Hit Show, made a race of it. He has since come back to win. But Magnitude held on. It was a good effort. I look at the work tab. Should be fit enough off this layoff here for Steve and a 500 grander. And this is a prep, believe it or not, for the Dubai World Cup.
Yeah,
so
and it's interesting. The article written by Mary Rambolini does say that this is a springboard to the Dubai World Cup, and it's the same path that he took in 2017 with Razorback winner Gunrunner, who would run 2nd, I believe, in the Dubai World Cup that year. To Arrogate,
ran
of
just
all
a
horses.
ridiculous race.
Yeah, so he is going to make his 4-year-old debut, and I like the fact they have the confidence in this runner to go ahead and say, this is our plan. And a lot of times when horsemen do have these really top-level horses, they'll go to the end of the year with Breeders' Cup and kind of work backwards to get those races scheduled or just penciled in on their schedule anyway. He is one of 2 millionaires in the field, Sandman being the other, and also like the fact that Ortiz gets back up in the irons, Jose Ortiz. Now, he and Steve talking about solid jockey-trainer combos at the distance with this trainer-jockey duo, 28%.
Wow.
He's posted a very strong string of 5 furlong works down at his base in New Orleans at the fairgrounds and comes up for today. So really excited to see this horse in the paddock.
Really, really a beautiful-looking son of Not This Time. I've seen videos of him. I've never actually seen him in person until today, so that'll be fun. For a race caller, it's always fun to call these types of horses. But he is a very nice horse, and knew what's new. He's sort of the horse that everybody's sitting there going, how good is this horse? I mean, he broke his maiden so impressively, won an allowance by the length of the grandstand last time. But my personal opinion, though, it just is a different feel when you're running against a class horse like Magnitude. This will be a class test for him. Maybe he's this good, but with horses that have those high buyers that are beating much lesser, I tend to lean towards the class horses because sometimes that class just stands out in the final 100 yards.
Yeah, really looking forward to seeing what's new as he does make his stakes debut. So that might be a pretty big ask. Certainly has the right to be in the field as he's popped triple buyer speed figures his last 2 starts. And like we said, Luis Saez, I stand corrected. He's riding the card at Gulfstream.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He won race 2 today, by the way.
Good for him.
He's on his way.
Kenny McPeak sends out Gould's Gold, who is the majority of the same ownership group that had Mystic Dan. So hoping that history can maybe repeat itself a little bit with the older division. A really good running, though, of the Razorback. And this has been a very strong race for many, many years, which we love to see that.
And it's a springboard for the Oaklawn Handicap. And now with those big races in the Middle East, like the Dubai World Cup, some horses do use this for that. Right. So we typically get very much high-quality routers and horses that not only do we see in maybe the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile, but also the Breeders' Cup Classic down the road at 1.25 miles. This is always a strong race. Last year, it was a very strong race. So whether it's a big field like we saw last year with 14, which was a wide open affair on paper, or this time around where it looks like it could be a little more formful, you're always going to get really high-quality horses.
I love that the Razorback is today. The Pig Trail Overnight Stakes is tomorrow, and that's kind of the roadmap from Hot Springs up to Fayetteville before the highway went in. It was literally like a pig trail.
Oh, okay. So, that's the story on that. Didn't know that. I was sort of looking at the name going, what's this about? For someone who doesn't know, you can imagine I was like, who the heck named this race that? You know?
I had an OBU sweatshirt, Ouachita Baptist University tennis, and I wore it out in California, and people were like, Ouachita? What is it? I'm like, no, it's Ouachita.
Ouachita.
Yeah, Ouachita.
Yeah, it's like when people say La Jolla in San Diego.
In La Jolla.
La Jolla, yeah. Do you know where La Jolla is? Or you know where La Jolla is?
Or Sepulveda. Sepulveda? Yeah.
I don't know where La Jolla is, but I certainly know where La Jolla is.
I love that.
I think I know
love
where La
that.
Jolla is.
Race number 11 is the nightcap. Arkansas bred fillies and mares. First level allowance or optional claiming of $25,000. And they're going to go 6 furlongs in, as I like to call it, and Matt knows it, the Cocktail Stakes.
The Cocktail Stakes. Cheers until tomorrow after this race on Rebel Day. So we're going to start the party on Rebel Day early with the Cocktail Stakes here, Nancy. I'm picking the rail horse here, JJ's True Bet. I like the maiden win. I like a Diamond who was second best that day as the morning line favorite in a maiden special weight tomorrow to end the card on Rebel Day. Last time out, this runner tried routing. This runner's pedigree does not suggest 2 turns is what she wants to do, and that pedigree sort of shined out on the track because this filly did not run well routing. Cuts back is going to be really fit with this in mind for trainer Al Cates, who's 3 for 8 cutting back from a route to a sprint.
Yeah.
Small sample size, but a good percentage there, and I think she's eligible to run well here. I know there are a lot more experienced runners, some older horses as well, but I think she's very much fast enough to run a good race here.
Yeah, I'm on JJ's True Bet as well. Really liked how impressive she was off the layoff to break the debut here on New Year's Day, and she beat a very interesting field of 9 and did so as the favorite. She was the beaten favorite last out, but I like the fact that she is coming back to her winning distance. So JJ's True Bet it is for me as well in the nightcap. We are not done yet. We still have to show you our $20 show bet bonus parlay, our long shot, and our top pick, which is sponsored by Oaklawn Anywhere. As Matt starts in the opener with Bull Toro, he's going to go race 2, Andy Up Tony, Ace Jack Deuce in the 3rd, and Magnitude in the 10th. I'm going to go the early double and the late double. A pair of 4s at the 5 Magnitude and JJ's True Bet in the closing event. Long shot play of the day. Matt goes to race number 7 with 50-cent dollars. I'm going to look a few races earlier with Miss You Mo in the 3rd. Top pick sponsored by Oaklawn Anywhere. Matt goes to Super Cruise in the 4th, and I'm going to go Annie Up Tony in race number 2. You got to have that little New York
Annie
flair.
Up Tony.
Annie Up Tony. Yeah, so it's a great day. The infield is open. Make sure you swipe to get those entries in for Rebel Riches. It's going to be a first thing that we've done this season will happen today in the Grade 3 Razorback Handicap. Horses will saddle in the closed-in paddock. They will then make their way over to the infield around the Oaklawn hedge, meet their connections, and get riders up. So we'll do that today for the Razorback and tomorrow for our 2 graded stakes, the Honeybee and the Rebel.
I love that.
12 races tomorrow, 3 stakes, doors open at 10:30, first post noon. What am I forgetting?
Oaklawn Today starts at 10:40. Yeah, make sure to tune in. We're going to have all our picks. Andy Biancone's going to join us tomorrow, and it's going to be a really fun day. How's this guy doing here after his little tumble?
So comfy.
Okay, that's good.
I do want to thank future Hall of Famer. How crazy is that? And I said, Kenny, you got my vote because I'm fortunate enough to have a vote on the Hall of Fame.
Oh, you are?
I
okay.
am.
Well, you should
so I said,
vote
Kenny,
him.
you got my vote. A big thank you to Kenny McPeak and social influencer Griffin Johnson, who joined me this morning for Dawn at Oaklawn. They have a lot in common despite, the age difference, trainers, social media. And, Kenny did make a pretty solid Netflix appearance in Race for the Crown.
as did we here at Oaklawn. Oaklawn got that hit with Mystic Dan, right? That was the year Mystic Dan won. And Kenny is a Netflix actor. I think if you go on imdb.com, you can find a Kenny McPeak. He was on Netflix.
Well, it's so funny because I was for that particular day, I was interviewing him for Torpedo Anna winning the fantasy. And it's so funny how many people call my mom or texted me, I saw you on Netflix. And I think I'm like a fifth of a second or something.
You were on there.
I'm going to put that on my wiki or whatever. I don't know what everybody says.
Do you have a Wikipedia page?
I don't know. God, I hope
someone made one for me, actually. I've got one.
There's no telling. There's not much on there.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful day. Head out to the infield. Make sure you swipe. It's going to be absolute perfection today. Don't miss tomorrow. It just gets better. For track announcer Matt Dinnerman, I am Nancy Holthus. Good luck and good racing.